guys, and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to build the Steve Irwin from Sea Shepherd, and I've got it in the two kind of main colour schemes here. The newer one where it's got these kind of cool, really cool looking stripes, which I'll show you a quick way of doing it. I won't actually be doing it block for block of how to do it the way I've done it, because the video length would be about 4 times longer. And I've also got it in its kind of original, well not original, but it's kind of black and then red as well, colour scheme as well, but because you can't really see the black on either of these, I'm actually going to be switching out the black for the white kind of colour that you can see down there. So I'm going to be doing it in red and then white, just because it makes it a lot easier for you guys to see, because especially when you do video editing, black actually comes out really dark and doesn't let you define like edges or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to literally just pretty much just talk you through what you're going to be able to expect from this tutorial. So the total ship length is 62 blocks long, it's 29 high, and it is 11 wide. So it's not massively huge, but it is a quite complex build. The small helicopter tutorial, I've already got one of those done, so what I'll do is I'll link in the description for the actual helicopter tutorial, and I'll say kind of where I've actually put it. Mine is actually floating at the minute. If I come down here, so you can see that mine is actually floating just a little bit, so you might want to do something else here, maybe put in some of these stairs or something like that, but I'll kind of go over that as we go over the tutorial. So I'll just fly over this area now. So this is going to be a layer by layer tutorial. I just find that this is the easiest way to actually set out the tutorials, and it also works a lot better for you guys because you can take a break, say at layer number 5, I'll announce when it's layer number 6, and you'll also just jump onto layer number 6 straight after. It makes it a lot easier when you do need to actually have a break. So this is going to be an advanced tutorial as well. The actual Steve Irwin, there is a lot of detail on it, and I've actually had to watch the show a couple of times and to try and get as much kind of detail as I can on the actual ship, but I'm sure that there is bits that are kind of wrong, that there's just no way that you can kind of get it completely right in Minecraft anyway. But it is a 1-to-1 scale kind of build, so there is actually, as you can see, there is quite a lot of space in here as well, in the hold down here. So there is actually, you know, a nice amount of things you can actually do with the interior, which I haven't actually started on at all because it's quite difficult to find out how everything is mapped. So yeah, the main thing you need to do really first is to choose your colours. So if you're going to go with the red and black, the red layer on both of these, I think, yeah, on the other one over here, this is actually in black. So this is the kind of layer here, so that's in black. On this one it's in red. So you're going to have to choose which colour of those you're going to be doing. I'm going to be doing it in red because it's still quite clear. But then you have to choose the next kind of colour. If you're going to go with the black original one, if you're going to go with this stripy one, I recommend making it out of your light grey wool first, and then adding all the rest of the stripes. That's what I did on this one. I actually just switched it all from this one. I did this one originally and then switched it all to the light grey and then flipped all of those blocks out. So let's get started on this build. Okay, so if you're building this one underneath the water, what you need to do is you need to actually be about 4 blocks underneath the water. This is going to be my recommended kind of place. So you're just going to be 4 blocks under. You could also be 5 if you wanted to, if you wanted to just have this bit, but I kind of like having a kind of stripe of some sort of colour. It'll be exactly the same on this one, so you have a stripe of red, then you have all the black. But that's it. Okay, so layer number 1, what you need to do is just place down 1 block here. Then you're going to go 3 wide, and you're going to go back by 5, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And all I'm going to do is just do a box, and you guys are going to just do it on the other side as well. Then what you're going to do is going to be 5 wide in total, and you're going to go 38 back. So counting that block you got there, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So again, I'm just going to be boxing this part, so you can actually fill it in later. It makes it a lot easier when you actually do that, so I'll just keep and bring this one back. Right to there, and then you're going to have 1, so you just got this 3 kind of across here, and it's only 1 wide, not 1, yeah, 1 wide, you know what I mean. And then you're going to have a 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's all you're going to have for the first layer. So what you need to do is fill this in, and I'll tell you what to do on the next layer. Okay, and for layer number 2, what you need to do is come to the front and come forwards by 2 blocks in total. Then you're going to have a 1, then a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, then a 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then you're going to go out again, and you're going to have 15, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So you've got this going to run on the inside as well. So then you're going to go inwards again, and you have 16, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, which will bring you just in line with this. Then what we're going to do is you're going to have 5 across this kind of back part, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And right on the end, you're going to have just this 2 like this. This is the reason is because you've got this kind of propeller, which is kind of hidden inside this little bit here. So all you need to do to finish off this kind of layer is just fill in this part here, like that, and do the same on the other side, and we'll get on to the next layer. And for layer number 3, what you're going to do is, if you come to the front, come forwards by 1 block here, and you have a 2, then a 1, I can have a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, then a 38, so you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm just getting stuck here. Now you have a 38, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, which will bring you just in line with this. And then across the back you can have 7 this time, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's got this really kind of flat back, and what you're going to do is you're just going to add an extra 2 blocks onto this one here. Cut out this one here and just put in a couple of iron blocks, just going forwards by 1. You got a block of gold, and you're going to just create a propeller in here like this. And you can, if you want to, bring this through at some point so that you've actually got the kind of engine. What I usually do is I just have to leave a block of the actual iron so that I've got a kind of indicator of where it is. Another thing you can do on this side as well, I've got these 5, you can see these kind of small bits down here. This is the actual side propeller type things, I can't remember what they're called. We've got a set of 5, I'm just going to leave 1 from the back and just cut this one out, so I'm just going to quickly do the other side as well. So I can show you this quickly. I'm just going to drag this one up slightly down, like this. So if we have it the same on the other side as well, all I did on this part is I just created a tube down here, just on each of these sides. And right in the middle, just put in a gold block. We could obviously put in a gold block here, or here, or here and here, or something like that. I just put one right in the middle. But you could also put in lighting down here as well. It's really up to you, because you can just see that kind of block showing through. And then when we get to the next layer, I'll probably remind you again, but you can just pull this on top. I just advise leaving it for the time being, but do the same on the other side, and we'll get to the next layer. Okay, and then for layer number 4, what you need to do is come to the front and come forwards by 1 block again. Then you're going to have a 1, and a 2, and then a 1. Now you're going to have a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you're going to have a 38, so this is going to be the same kind of run. It's just going to be 1 out from the last layer, so you don't have to really count it. So you just keep pulling this one back until it's directly in line like this. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have a 1, then you have a 2 going across the back like this, and then there's going to be 3 that come back in. So it's a little bit more involved, this shape, than the kind of last layer. At least the back part here, so you've got this kind of bit that comes out on each side like that, and all you need to do is just add an extra 2 blocks there. And just the same as I was saying on the last layer, when we get to this point I'll just quickly do this front part. And I'll bring this one back. What you need to do is, to finish off this little bit here, is just add this block going across the top like that. And that's the kind of minimum amount of space. You won't be able to really do much with this bottom part at all. Unfortunately, you have to just take it out, or you can take out this kind of tube part, and then you've got the front part as well. But just to connect that wall up, or at least that's all I have to do, and we'll get on to the next layer. Okay, and for layer number 5, what you need to do is come to the front, come forwards by 1 block again. Now you can have a 2. So a 2 here, and now you can have a 2, a 1, and a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 38, so this is going to be directly on top, so it started to kind of go upwards rather than out anymore. So this one just be directly on top of the last layer, so bring this one all the way back. Just to here, and now you're going to have a 3, so you got 1, 2, and 3, so it goes out a little bit more. You got 2 going across the back like this, and then you got a 3 going across like this. So it's a little bit more involved again in the back part, so if we just drag this one on top, as it will be, I've got 3, 1, 2, 3, got 2 here. So what we need to do when you come to the back is just fill in and cover up these kind of back pieces here, like that. So do the same on the other side, and we should be out of the water, so we should be on to the next kind of colour. Okay, so for layer number 7, you're now on to your different kind of colour. So if you're building this one, light grey wool, and if you're building this one, you are onto your kind of black wool. I am going to be doing it out of white just because it's a lot clearer than both of them really. So what you can do is you're going to come to the front and go 1, 2, and actually this entire layer is directly on top. So you really don't really have to do that much at all, except for just do exactly the same and just lay on top a different colour on top of this kind of last layer like this, and it just goes all the way around. So do that and I'll get back to you for the next layer. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I named the last layer wrong. It was supposed to be 6 instead of 7. Let's get on to layer number 7. So come to the front and come forwards by 1 block, then another 2, again another 2, and another 2. So you've got 3 sets of 2 right at this front part. Now this is going to be on top again. There is a slight difference at the back this time, so just lay this directly on top, building up this kind of wool all the way here, and these are on top. And then right at the back where you've got this 2 going across, you're just going to place 1, and there's going to be 5 across the back. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then just do the same on the other side, and we'll get onto the next layer. Okay, and for layer number 8, what you're going to do is you're going to have the first block directly on top of the last here. So you're going to have 1, now you're going to have a 2, now a 3, so you've got 1, 2, and 3, and then the rest of this entire layer is going to be directly on top of the last, so you can go all the way around the back. So it's only really the front part that changed on this layer. Let's go around the back, and we'll get on to the next layer. Okay, so for layer number 9, what you need to do is you need to come to the front, come forwards by 1 block, and then you're going to have a 1, 2, next one is a 4, so you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now the rest are going to be directly on top of the last layer. So yet again, it's just that small bit at the front, so go around the entire of this, and I will show you what to do next, because there is a little bit different for this, because we can actually put in our first deck. Okay, and then after you've filled in that layer, which is layer number 9, what we need to do is if we just bring this block going across here, and the reason being is that there's the front wall here. I've actually got a deck on this layer, which we're just about to fill in, and there is actually a deck at the front which goes down slightly. You can see, so you have to kind of work that way away, because you've got this kind of front part here which is quite low, so you have to actually make it a way kind of going down. So we'll just put in that block there to kind of signify that. Now what you need to do is behind this block you're going to have them directly in line with the last layer that we've just been placing down. So you can literally fill up all of this, and I've used grey wool for this. You can use something like clay as well, it's really up to you, but both of them, or both the styles, have the same floor. So fill that up all the way to the back, and then at this front section just come down 1 block and fill in this front section as well. Even though you won't be able to see this one isn't kind of completely needed. It will just give you an idea of what the actual ship has, because it does have this kind of bit that goes down. So do those 2 bits, and I'll see you guys on the next layer. And for layer number 10, what you need to do is this layer is directly on top. So just lay these blocks directly on top of the last layer that you've got here. If you wanted to as well, you could also build up this wool. I'm just going to leave it in because we can actually just do that in one kind of bit later on. But yeah, just fill this in, just put this on the top layer. We have got these bits to put in on the side, which are these kind of railing parts, which after you've gone around it, it'll be easier just to show you guys after that. So do that and I'll get on to the next bit. And for the kind of side railing part, what you're going to do is you're going to count 5 of these, and you're going to leave 5 of these. That's what I really mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is where you're going to cut out. This is where the kind of run starts of these. So you've got just 2 for this section, then you're going to leave a 1 block gap, then you have 3. And there's 6 sets of 3 in total. It's just this one at the kind of front, which is a slight different part. You could, I guess, just add an extra 1 in here. It doesn't really matter. You just got, so you've got 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So then copy that onto the other side, and we will get onto the next layer. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to finish off this kind of front part, at least the main kind of whole part of it. We're also going to just set up couple of these, you know, they're kind of this basically just this front section, and then we'll obviously do this part going back later on. Also put in the small boats, and then we can actually start laying out at least the basic framework for this kind of main section of the ship. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come to the front right now, and we're going to go forwards by 1 block, and you're going to have 1, now you're going to have another 1, now you're going to have a 3, so you got 1, 2, and 3, and a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's just going to be 4 blocks on this part, so you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So then just do the same on the other side, and we'll go on to the next bit for this front part. Okay, and for the next layer, come to the front and come forwards by 1 block. So you've got this 1 block here, then you're going to have a 2, a 3, 4, and then just a 5 this time. So it's starting to kind of gradually make its way up on the layers. So do the same on the other side, and we'll go on to the next layer. Okay, so for the next layer, and the final layer of this kind of front part, you're going to have 1 directly on top, but it actually does come forwards. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have a 2, 3, and just a 4. Like that. So do the same on the other side, and we'll fill in the deck and start doing the detail on this part. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to start working on this front. So this wall here we're going to build up to a total height of 2. So let's keep on building up this part here like this, just with your kind of normal hull colour. And then count to the 4th one of these, so from the right side of the ship. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one you're going to cut out. And this is why I've just put in some stone stairs to get into this kind of lower deck down here. And now if we grab our grey wool, what we're going to do is we're just going to fill in this section here of grey wool. So this part like this. Here. Don't worry about that kind of door pieces, it does kind of get covered up. There is some stuff that goes on top of it, so you can still get down into it quite easily. So I'll just do that for now, and then what we're going to do is we're going to grab a cobblestone slab. I'm just going to place 2 on each side here, and then this deck at the front is raised up 1 more as well. So just fill this in, just like this, and grab this one here and put it back. So that gives it a kind of base to kind of work off. Now we'll do all the other stuff that's on it. Okay, and if we just build the stairs that go out the side, it's just on one of these sides, so we're just going to build up here, just going to add a block, and then also here, and then just do a step kind of pattern. Pretty sure it's like that. We'll have a look, and then what you can do is going to have a stone stair, and then a slab. Now build your way up to there, and then grab your iron bars, and we're just going to wrap these down here. So then we're about to walk up onto this part here, like that. And also then here we can have 2 iron bars, and then 3 blocks, which will be this kind of centerpiece there, and it also covers up that actual door. You could, if you wanted to, have move the door to the middle. I just thought it looks a little bit better, kind of off to the side slightly. Okay, and all of this part I actually advise doing in black wool, no matter what colour scheme you're doing. This actual mast here, which you can just about see. Try and see if I can get a nicer view. There you go. So you can kind of see the mast come out here. I advise doing all of this in black wool, even if it's on the black one as well. It'll be exactly the same. And what I'll do is I will be doing it in white wool still, because it's a lot easier to see. What you need to do is this wall here, you just need to drag until you hit into the side here, and just replace this block out here. So replace that block out like that. Then you're going to come in 2, leave 2 of these, and then go 5. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which should just be 1 block over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like that. And then what you're going to do is, if you come back 2 of these, just going to place a block down here, and then also cut into this part here. This is where the actual chain kind of goes down, so this is the chain room, which we're actually in at the minute. So we'll just go up to here. I can actually make my way up, so you have to cut out that block, so there's another thing that you need to do. Okay, so for the chain system I used on this, what I did is I just used iron bars, so just bring them up through that hole we just created, and bring them forward, just to this point here before we get onto this 3. And go to the side and go down. Oh, not all the way down. Bring them down to here. I also just cut out this block down here and just drag them into there. So it's the same on the other side as well, so you're just going to cut out a couple of these blocks and place them in, so you get this kind of chain system that goes down into that room, but it comes out to here. I'll give you this. You can either just leave it like this, or what you can do is you can bring it down and try and make a kind of small anchor like that. I'm going to go with a small anchor because that's what I kind of have been doing on my latest kind of builds, so you can put that in for now. Okay, now we're going to build this kind of back mast type thing here. So again, this will be in black wool, but on this block here, you're going to add 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then go back, and you're going to go 5. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like that. Okay, and then just on this part that we actually raised up before, we're just going to add 2 blocks. So just go up 2 blocks on each side, then go kind of back again, and we're going to have 2 blocks like this. Oh, falling down, so I need to get rid of that one down there. So you get the 2 blocks there, and then you're going to then kind of join them together to here, and then have 2 blocks like that. These are just the kind of supports that are actually on it. And now we're just going to do the fence that actually comes down. So I used normal fence for this. The reason being that I've actually got never brick fence on the main mast as the kind of antenna and stuff. You could also use your iron bars, or you could use glass panes as well. I've seen people use glass panes to actually join these kind of things together. But since I use fence, I'm going to be using fence. So if you just come to the front here, and what you're going to do is you're just going to place down 2 pieces of fence here, and you're just going to work your way up, making sure that they're all joined together like this. You just keep on making your way up until we hit into the mast finally. So if we keep going up, and I think one more, there we go, it should reach right at the top, just like that, and that actually gives us the front section. So we've now got kind of a way to actually walk up and around, and then we got the chains which you can have to jump over if you want to get to the other side, but it at least gives us that kind of first bit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to build the small Zodiacs and also the actual crane as well. And now for the Zodiacs, what you need to do is, if we just come in 1 block from this wall here, and we're going to count and leave 3 of these, so you've got 1, 2, 3. You're going to place down a stone brick stair. This will be your actual kind of platform for the boats to go on. There's going to be a 4 block gap in between, so you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then another one, like that. And turn around, and you're going to do the same kind of opposite here, and there's going to be a 1 block gap, and there's going to be another one right here. These are really, really simple design as well. So then I advise making these ones out of black wool, because they are actually just black, but again I'm going to do it out of white wool so it's quite clear. So right at this kind of front part, if we just build this one for the time being, we're just going to lay these blocks across and just join them together, and then go across the back and come forwards, and it's just going to be 1 block right at the front. So like I said, super easy. What you need to do is you need to build a way up, and I used stone slabs on both of these. On both of these boats, you could use any other type of slab and just take out the back one there. I think I actually left in that one there, like that. And at the front, I just put in, it was either here or also here, you can put in this kind of the control panel type thing. So I think usually I put them in here, and then I use the stone brick stair. On these older ones, all I've got is literally just 2 blocks. So I actually advise using something like a stone brick stairs. The reason being with a stone brick stairs, because usually the texture has something that looks more like it's actually got, you know, a couple of buttons and a control panel type thing, but not really. And on the back, just add on 2 never brick fence, and then across this part we're also going to go over a couple of times. I think it's actually 1 lower than that, so I think it's there, yeah. So you need to just go up by 2 and then go over. You can actually take out this back part as well if you want to, like this, and then maybe put in a stone brick slab or something. I generally use just kind of covering it up, so then do the same on the other side, and I will get back to you for the next kind of part of this ship. And now we're going to build a crane, and again I advise building this out of your kind of black wool, just behind these 2 boats, right in the middle. We're just going to go up by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I did it to the right of the ship because that's where I've always seen it on the series, so just add, from here you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then 4. You can, if you want, actually go 5, I think, and then just add an extra block in here and a block in here. Just create this kind of bit like this. You can put your normal fence in here, and then just come down a couple, maybe like 2, like that, and that'll just finish off your crane. It's a really simple idea and a really simple design. You can actually take off that one if you wanted to, or you can leave it on. It's really up to you. This is just a really simple one of my earlier crane designs. So now we'll get onto the main body of the actual ship. And then for the main body of the actual ship, what we're going to do is going to have a 1 block gap. Then we're going to have 7 across, so you're just going to add 3 to each side, which will give you just this 1 block to walk around. Then from this one actually goes back by 18, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And at the back there's just 5, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so it just comes out a little bit like this. So then build this up here, just join it together. And build it up at the minute just to a total height of 3, because then we can finish off this kind of back section here and it'll just be this kind of main section. So just build this up to total height of 3, so you got 1, 2, and 3, and just go around the entire kind of this ship with that, and we'll get on to the next bit. Okay, and then grab your hull color again, and where we've got this last one here, we're going to just add on 4 blocks. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Take it on top of that one, and then stagger it going towards the front. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yet again like that. And then with your stairs, what you're going to do is we're just going to lay down a couple of stairs going up like this, which is why we've kind of got this 5 going across the back, so we can actually walk around it like that. And then for the time being, just put a couple of these kind of iron bars on like this, and it's the same on the other side, so just copy it onto the other side. Okay, and now we're going to build the actual supports for the helipad. So what I use for this is I actually used the nether brick fence. If you now have, well, actually, if you do have cobblestone wall, you can also use that. But I actually switched. I used the cobblestone wall on this part, so I decided to use the nether brick on this. So we've just come to this back part here, and we're just going to go 1 piece of nether brick fence, then a gap, then 1, then a gap, then 1. Then on this 3, we're just going to have them just here with a gap in between. And at the back, we're just going to do the same as we did kind of on that 5 section there. So we've just got these supports, just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lay out the kind of helipad part. So just on top of this, place down your blocks, and these are just going to go straight over the top. So you've got this 5 here. Then you're going to come in, and we're going to have a 3. So you've got 1, 2, and 3. Then the next one is going to be a 2. So it's just overhanging by a little bit. And then there's just going to be a 1, and then a 3 going across the back. 1, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then you've got your 5, like that. And then for the time being, just grab your stone slabs and just bring these across this section like this, and then fill this entire kind of area in. We will have to take out some bits for the actual tracks where the actual where the helicopter actually can get pulled in on, but we'll do that in a bit, so just fill this in for the time being. And then grab your iron bars, and we're just going to basically bend this one in here, and then these are all going to just connect up around the outside of this part, just like this. I'm pretty sure that actually on the ship this kind of part is a kind of netting which can actually get moved onto the sides. It's kind of like a sort of a rail, but not quite. I'm not quite 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. Just wrap those around like that, and then if we go onto the underside of this, onto this part, you notice that some of these aren't connected, so all I did here is just use my stone slabs, make them a full block like that, just to connect them in there, and it gives it a bit more weird kind of detail on this part, but we've then got that kind of back bit here. Okay, so if we grab our slabs again, what we're going to do is right here we're going to add 4, so you got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the next one is going to be a 3, so you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which is the reason we've got this rail here, is to stop people from falling down, even though it's easy to, but just as a kind of idea at least. And then what we're going to do is just fill in this part here, like that. And then if you grab your stone stairs, what we're going to do is we're just going to put in these kind of tracks which the helicopter goes on. So if you find the centre line, we're just going to go 1 block to each side, and we're just going to cut this out just before we get to this kind of 2 here, and we need to put in stairs, and for this, unfortunately, what we need to do is make these 4 blocks, and I actually advise doing it from underneath because it makes it a lot easier. So like that, and if I show you what this actually looks like, so it will create this kind of track like that going back. So we'll do the same on the other side as well, and then of course we will have to actually replace. Well, you could actually just leave these kind of blocks in if you wanted to. But what I advise doing is actually replacing them. So actually taking these back out again, and then putting in the normal stone slabs, so they get this kind of variation of height as well. So you get this kind of bit here, which are these tracks. So then just take out these. That'll give us this kind of these tracks, which will go into this kind of small hangar that we have at the back. And then if you grab your cobblestone slabs, we're just going to lay down 5 going across the top of that, and then it goes forwards by 5, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then bring this across again. And I can just fill this up like this. And that'll create the kind of platform that actually lands. If I go and have a look at the small helicopter, there'll be a link in the actual description for this small helicopter. What I kind of think you probably could do is actually just do these kind of stands this way, I can build it up that way, or just do full blocks every so often, or just completely make that full blocks, or there's probably a couple of different ways that you guys can actually come up with to make it so that it's actually connected on, or you can have it kind of mid-flight and actually, you know, be on the back there. So it's really up to you what you do with that part. So yeah, let's get on to the next section. Okay, and now we're going to build the back hanger. So just on this 5 here, we're going to go up by 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same on the other side, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then come across the top by 3, so 1, 2, and 3 like this. And then what I did is I just cut into this part, and I kept on going with these kind of rail parts. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in total. 5. I can actually place them properly. So again, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then again with my stone slabs. This one I made full, and then the rest I've just kind of brought back to here like this. And with the hanger being closed, what I used is I used cobblestone wool, just because it kind of gives you this kind of interesting effect. You could use any kind of fence, I guess. You could use fence on this part, or you could just make it completely solid as well. I just used the cobblestone wool to kind of give it this kind of slightly indented kind of feel to it, so that it does look kind of like a door, because this hanger actually is supposed to extend out around, I think it's about here, somewhere around there. As it does actually come outwards to kind of encompass the helicopter. And behind this I had 5 blocks, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this gets built up to total height of 5, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so it should be 1 higher than we had before, just like this. And if we build up the other wall as well, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 added on, and build this all the way up. And then this part here just goes over, also gets extended to build the actual roof, just like that. And then build this front wall up by another 3 blocks, so you got 1, 2, and 3. Just this front bit doesn't really change that much until we get a little bit more higher. Then count on this one, it goes back by 15, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So it just goes a couple blocks over, and all you're going to do is just basically fill this in for the time being, like that, and do the same on the other side, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And again, just build this up another kind of level, like that. And then when we've got the stairs here, we're just going to put in 2 slabs on this part here, and then have a piece of wool going in here as well, and then just extend this iron bars across. And this is where we're going to have the next step, so we can cut into this part here to the next couple of steps going up, and then create a guard as well for these, and put on just a couple of iron bars on that part. So I'll go through it on the other side as well. So grab your stone slab, place 2 on there, place a block on this part, place a couple of iron bars there. Step's going to go right on this side here, and then we can just cut into this wall that we just placed down here, and then create a railing for this part as well. So just put on the iron bars like that. Another thing you can do on the back as well, here I just put in a fence gate, just so that you've got this kind of guard to get into the kind of back hanger part. There is a bit, I think there's an iron bar or something like that that wraps around the actual ship, but because we're in Minecraft we can't really do that, so the best you can kind of come up with is something like a fence gate that you can actually walk through when it's open, or get stuck when you're closed, like that. And then if we come to the back of this hanger part, we're just going to fill in this wall for the time being, just like this. So just fill up that, and then if you grab your main deck colour, which will be this kind of grey wool, we can actually fill in this actual deck here. And if you want to do the lower one as well, with this one I think it's only 2 blocks. Yeah, we've only got 2 blocks to work with, unfortunately, so it's quite small. But you can actually fill in this kind of floor part as well, down here. So you've only got 2 blocks on this part, and then 2 blocks for the next one. But the main one that you need to fill in is this top part here, so fill that in and I'll tell you what to do next. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we just come in 1 block from this part and just place down 1 block here, and we're going to go out, and I'm going to have a 6, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We should have a 6 coming in as well, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one will be the 6th block here. And again, you can actually fill in this floor as well, so you actually take out these switch them out. Fifth floor, I'm just checking to make sure I haven't got a block down there. I'll switch out these ones as well. And do that on the other side as well. And then next, come across the front, and you're just going to fill this one in completely solid, and then add one block. Then you should have 7. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you got 1 extra block on this part. And you're just going to add a block in here. Then connect your iron bars up right at the back. So add a block, then you have 7. Should just be directly on top of this. Add a block in here, and connect in your iron bars like that. And next thing we can do is we can actually put in a ladder that's going up here. So just on this side part here, just cut out this block. And if we just fall down and then come back up with a placing ladder, just like this. And I'll just put in my trapdoor, I think maybe on this side, something like that. There, or what you can do is you can have the ladder going up even more like this. And have your trapdoor on this part maybe. It's up to you. Do that on the other side as well. Okay, now for the bridge section. So what we're going to do is just place a block right in the middle here, and we're just going to go right to the edge. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Build this up to a total height of 3 for the time being, like this, and then this goes back this way by 5. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And again, it'll be a 5. So you'll just have this kind of one block walk around. Now we're going to go in and have 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're going to go in and have 3 just for the end part here. Just build this all up to a total height of 3. So just connect it to the back part here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you go 4. I just decided to put a 3 instead, and then you go 3 here, like that. So then if you grab your glass, what you can do is just on the front, just knock out these ones. Just put in your glass, and on the side, same again. So you've just got 3 pieces of glass on the side here, just like that. And then if we're going to put in a door, this is where I actually put in mine, so you can put it on this 4, in the back part here, you can actually put in a door, and cut through onto this part as well, like that. And there's a sensor on the back of the actual hanger part, which I can kind of show you here, but again it's in black wool, so it might not show up very well when the video's done, but we've just got it here, so I advise doing it in black wool on both of them. Again, I'll do it in white to make sure it's clear, but just where you got this top part here, just come in 1 block, and what you're going to do is going to create a cross pattern like this. Then on top of this, you're going to have a 3x3 kind of square. You have a cross pattern on the top again, just like that. And then behind this sensor, we're going to actually have the smokestack. So we're going to have 1, 3, and then 1, like this. And then the last kind of 3 sections here, we're going to raise up by 1 more block, just like that. So this will be in your normal hull colour. And then for the smokestack, what you need to do is I'm going to be using black wool because it's black wool on this as well. So we're just going to go 1, 2, and then we're going to have a 1 just in this gap here, like this. And I actually built this one up to the same kind of height here. And if you just grab your grey wool, all I did is I just put it in the bottom part here, and also what you can do is you can put nether brick fence in that part, and if you want to have the smoke come out, have cobwebs kind of going up and going backwards, but that gives you that part there. Okay, and then what you need to do is fill in this floor, so grab your grey wool again, and just fill in this part here, like this. Grab a ladder, and you're going to have the ladder go up on this part to get onto this top, the highest part of the actual ship, like this. Grab your iron bars and just wrap them around and back into the smokestack here, just making sure you've got a gap for the ladder. And then on this part you're going to have a stone slabs, 2 stone slabs here, and then with your main hull colour, just wrap it around the front, creating an extra guard here, and again 2 stone slabs like that. And then all we've got to do really is build up this kind of main kind of antenna at the top. So we're just going to have 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, and 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, like this. And then also come back and into the middle to have 2 blocks in this part. Then come and make kind of something in the middle, a block in the middle of these 4 that you've got here, and got by 3 in total. And with this back one, what you need to do is have diagonals go into it like that. And on this front side part, I just went up 1, 2, and 3 with nether brick fence, and then added a white piece of wool. So this is actually a white piece of wool. Not just the rest of my ship, which is in white already. So you just place that there, and then off this one here, you're going to go back and have 1, 2, and 3 going back as well. If you grab your nether brick fence, we're just going to join these going across here, and on the back of this part, go on this other side, just going to cross this part like this. And also add 1 here, and here, And on this part add 2, so you got 1, 2. And on the other side as well, 1, 2. Right to the top add 3, so you got 1, 2 and 3. Also added 1 on the back. And I went out to the side 3, so you got 1, 2 and 3. Added 1 to the bottom and also to the top as well. So you got 1, 2 and 3 to the top. And also on the bottom, and that finishes off that kind of antenna part. So now what we're going to do is we've got to do the rigging that goes towards this actual kind of mast. Okay, so from this mast, what you can do is you're going to add 4 fences. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go down and connect 1 on, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you count that one that's connected on by 4. Do the same. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then down again 1, 2. And this is where it's starting to get a bit tricky. 3 and then 4, which should just connect in perfectly. So that gives us the rigging on it like that. So I'm going to have a quick look over to make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay, so that is it for the Steve Irwin from Sea Shepherd. What I'm going to do quickly is just show you what I've done on a slight little bit of the interior. And I'm also going to show you guys, if you have made it in this kind of the newer style, on this cube here, how to actually go about making this kind of the kind of colour scheme and which 3 actual colours I used to do it in this one. But if you've done it in the black and red, you guys will pretty much be done with the build. So let's just jump inside quickly. And if I can find the door, there it is. So this is the only kind of bit of the interior I've actually done, which is just putting a couple of seats at the back here, put in this kind of the kind of wheel here, which all this is just an item frame with a cobweb, a couple of levers, and also a trapdoor right in the front. Put in a couple of control pads on the front as well, and that is pretty much it. There's not too much else. I put the stairs going down from this part, which then also goes into the back of the hangar part here as well. I haven't got any stairs going down into the actual main bit after this, so you actually do have to use these ones. But I have put in a door just hidden in this part here, and I've got a window, 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 window. So where you've got these blocks here, this is where I put in the windows, and it will line up with this ladder as well. I've just realised that I need to put in these 4 blocks, so let's get back to the build and just do that quickly. So all it is just covering up this here. Actually, you could put in 5, so I might have extended my one here like by a little bit, but it doesn't really matter too much. So if you just put in your blocks here, like that, just to cover up that back bit, and it gives it a bit more depth. So now we'll get back to the build. So then again, with the higher level, I've just put in the glass kind of windows, just a little bit higher. And we can actually, if you want, I might as well go over putting these in now. But all it is just going alternating from this ladder here and just putting in windows. Not there. And then putting in this one here. And then when I went to this part here, I actually put in the door right at the back here, which fits in quite nicely. So if we grab a door, you can put that in there now, just like that. And then for the higher level, what I did is I just went up to this point, I think it is. I'll just have a double check. Yep, so this is where the floor is. And then just did exactly the same, just on the bits that I actually could. And there's only a couple of them that you can actually do on that part there. You could also put windows on the bottom part here, but I don't think there is in the real ship. I think it's just on these top parts. I think the only small windows that you have are those really, really tiny, tiny, tiny little holes that you get on them there. What I did on the inside when you actually go in is absolutely nothing. So I actually haven't got around to doing much, but you have got quite a lot of room kind of down in the deck where I actually can't see because it's really dark, and shaders always make it really, really dark. So that's pretty much it for that. So now I'm going to go over how to actually do this kind of style, and this will work with any build. So if you build it out of completely light grey, then I can actually show you guys exactly what to do with that. So the 3 colours that I actually made use for this is light grey, light blue wool, and also black wool. And that's the closest I could kind of get to the actual kind of ship. So what we need to do is just kind of come up with these kind of styles, and what I did with this one is I actually had these kind of stripes. I tried to make these stripes kind of go through it. On the top part it kind of went a bit to hell, but it didn't really matter. So I've kind of got this like light grey stripe that goes up here and then kind of ends here and kind of gets around, and you've got the blue on the sides. It's just alternating between these 3 colours like that. So if we just do it here, and this will work with any sort of camouflage in Minecraft as well. So I'm just going to grab my light grey, light blue wool. I'm just going to cut up a couple of blocks like this, and then maybe go around as well here, and then this I might switch out for black, like that. So it gives you that kind of style there, and I might also have some couple of black pieces here. Actually, that one's going to be great. So that's how you would actually do it. So you can already see how it's kind of changed just by using these kind of stripes. So it's almost like I've got a stripe here, got a stripe here, and this one goes over a little bit like that. And they can just basically do that with the entire ship, and that's all I did with this ship. Is I just went around and did that style, same that I did on that cube, like that. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this tutorial on how to build the Steve Irwin from Whale Wars. If you have, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next tutorial.